Jason, the score last game wasn't really indicative to how you guys were playing. What positives can you take from that game?
The positives are we obviously made some individual errors as well as collective errors that affected our performance. But at the same time, there's things that we can fix, and it wasn't as if the opposition was sort of playing through us or slicing through us to constantly put us under siege. And it's early enough in the season that we can correct those problems as long as we're willing to and recognize our mistakes. So that's the positive thing. If we can sort that out, then I think we'll have a good chance to compete in games.
And another bye week this weekend. What are going to be the main focuses during this off time?
A lot of it is obviously defensively, but looking at our sort of awareness and positional sense when we have the ball. And if we end up losing possession of the ball, how can we get back into proper shape in order to sort of slow down their transitions, which was obviously an issue against Pittsburgh. So a little bit of that, but also trying to look at how we continue to possess the ball and create chances, which in the game against Pittsburgh, we did quite well and created quite a few chances. Just unfortunate not to take them all, but you can't always take all the chances as well.
And how's the team feeling mentally as well as physically? And is there a mood right now?
Anytime you lose 5-1, it's difficult for players and staff. But we regrouped the players, sat them down, and went over our sort of deficiencies within the game. And as long as we're willing to work at it and improve, then we'll get over this loss and look towards the future. But the players know that within themselves in the first half of that game that they were in a game and they were pretty much comfortable. And then obviously the sending off changed the complexion of the match. So them knowing that they were in a competitive game and doing quite well up into the halfway point should hold them in some good confidence.
And congratulations for being inducted to the Hall of Fame at Brampton. Any thoughts on that?
Well, it's a huge honor, and as a Brampton boy coming up, and there's a lot of sports people that have come through Brampton, so I think it's a nice honor for my family, and it sort of leaves a legacy, which is always something everybody wants to leave during their time. So it's a nice accomplishment, and I'm grateful for it.
Another question. You guys added Ben Spencer on loan. What do you expect from him?
At the moment, he's injured. He's just sort of getting over an injury, so he's working his way back to full fitness. But he's another striker with huge potential, a lot of talent, has experience for a young player, not just in America, but also abroad. So we're looking for somebody that will come in and compete for a spot on the team, someone that will score goals, and also bring other players into the game, which is important. So we're excited to see him.
Wes Sharpie's been a prominent player for you throughout the early portion of the season. What impresses you the most about Wes since he's made the jump from the college ranks?
Wes is a player who every single day knows how to train properly. He's been applying himself in games. He would like to see, as well as myself, a little bit more consistency, but that will come with the more games that he plays. But he's got a fantastic attitude and outlook on the game and on life. Very bubbly character and spirit. And that always helps in the dressing room as well. So we look to him to continue to take on more of a leadership role as the season progresses.
Your team is a mix of guys who have first-team experience, some academy players. So in terms of the goals that you set, is it a results-based business at this level, or is part of it just about the development, especially for some of those younger kids?
The majority of it is about the development and trying to get these players to progress on and learn the game as footballers. At the same time, we want to be competitive as a team, and we know that if we start to do the right things at the right times, that we will succeed and start to win games and get more results. But the main focus, and it's even difficult for us coaches to lose sight of that sometimes, is the fact that it's based on the development. So it can't always just be about the results at the end of the day.
And what has the development been like since your time taking over as the head coach of TFC2? Have you seen market improvement in some of the younger players, some of the older guys?
We've seen improvements in spurts, individually as well as collectively, where we're starting to do the things that we want to do and play them in the right manner. And then other times you see some of their inexperience. And that sort of came out in the game on Saturday, where some of the goals that we conceded were sort of, if you say, elementary mistakes that can be corrected and improved. And at the college game where they've come from, or sort of youth level, you don't really get punished in those instances. And now at the sharp end, in the professional level, you don't really get a second chance, and teams punish you. So it's sort of that development process and understanding that, and I'm sure the boys will be fine within time.
When players come here, they have access to these amenities and the coaching staff and everything, but when they're at home, how important is the role of their parents in their own personal development, and what do you tell those parents in terms of how you want them, like at home life, in terms of their own growth?
To be honest with you, I don't really have much contact with the parents, and some of their players are not from here. So the local guys, okay, I understand, and some of the other players that are from abroad, they have their own relationship with their parents, so I can't really comment on that. We try to speak to them because they're young men. They're trying to be professional players. They are professional players, so it's important that they understand everything that they do away from the football club is important. So the amount of rest that they get. We train at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but they can't be up till 1 o'clock in the morning doing whatever, thinking that that's proper rest. You need to go to bed at a proper time, and with regards to diet and how they eat, that's all important. What they're drinking, the amount of rest that they get, all these things are factors, especially when you're on the road for so long and so many road trips. So we try to educate them as much as we can, but you have to understand we're not with them 24 hours a day. So we just try to teach as best as possible.